Nathan Crowley, our set designer, and his whole team, his whole department, and our props department, and every single person who worked on it created such a submersive environment. I mean, every page was written in every book, every frame on the desks, on the things had photos in them. Everywhere you looked, there was another thoughtful piece of the puzzle that grounded us in this world and made it really impossible for us to float away.
What does being immersed in Oz and being able to physically interact with the craftsmanship around you, what does that do for you as a performer?
It creates a really sensory experience. So it's fully sensory, not just the music and the sound and what you see, but like the things you can touch. The Enchanted Forest is an enchanted forest. The trees are there, the plant life is there, there's real foliage. And because it's built that way, because it's almost biodynamic, you end up getting birds that move into the forest. That's what happens, you know, which I think is the most wonderful thing. You have an actual moat with water, so it becomes, again, a biosphere.
It's a real world.
Yeah, and we had ducks that moved into the water. It was such a beautiful place that was made real by these wonderful craftsmen and builders. And
what was y'all's first location on set for the first time?
The dorm room.
What was that like?
Emotions
really walking through.
Yeah, it's really cool. I can still remember like the arched windows. And it's really cool.
It was lovely to start on one of the more intimate sets.
Yeah.
We started so small and it felt so intimate for such a long time. Yeah. And then finally when we stepped outside into Shiz, we were like, oh my God, what's happening?
There's a world out here.
This is crazy. Yeah.
Nathan Crowley, a production designer. Wait till his work is seen in this. I think it's going to be highly esteemed and celebrated. It is by me. I have deepest respect for him. Oh my God, it was not CGI'd mostly. It's right there, 9 million tulips they planted.
I know, and I think the texture of the world that you inhabit bleeds into your performances naturally, but also John Chu, the detail by which he laid out the sort of emotional and physical landscape for this film is unprecedented. I mean, it was just beyond, but to have the actual sets there, especially if you're doing a singing and a dance number, much like, you know, Jeff dancing around the small, this quite big model village of Oz.
That model was there. Oh yeah, that's all there, including that rising thing. But you were in that enchanted forest.
Which was stunning. The smell of like fresh fauna.
Really?
It was real,
it was organic.
It was all real,
9 million tulips.
9 million tulips.
I felt spoiled, to be honest, because of how practical and magical all of the sets were, and it really did make our job so much easier, at least mine. I know, speaking for myself, it made my job incredibly easy, on top of working with talent who just make everything so real in the moment because they're just so good at what they do.
I think one of the things that you have to do a lot as an actor is really use your imagination to create the world around you as it gets like filled in later, either because you're on stage or because they're going to add it in post. And I think being able to not worry about that part was really like freeing and liberating. The fact that you could like turn a corner where the camera you feel like we'll never see, and there's an entire new set that's been built just because like, there would be a room here, so let's just build the room there.
The room. Yeah. I'd love to talk too specifically just about the set design for Shiz University. You know, so much of the action of the film is there.
I mean, we started in the classroom. It was our first day of filming in Dr. Dillam's classroom. The other thing that was really cool about that, not only was it like really detailed and like beautiful, it was like very specifically Ozian. Dr. Dillam had all these tools to make the space sort of accessible to him that were really cool and inventive.
The little pieces, like whether it was a book or just even a writing utensil, everything was so well thought out, intentional, to just aid and help the story and the visuals be what they are.
Yeah, like the design of your chair too. It's like Ozian and sick.
So sick. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. I want her. I want to go to the grocery store in her. The wheels are beautiful. Just the red velvet, just so much thought put into it and so much care. They actually ended up, they had me tell them the measurements of my everyday chair, and they basically rebuilt the exact same chair, just made it more Ozian. So there was so many days where I would forget to switch from prop chair to my real chair because it felt exactly the same.
Felt right at home. That's awesome. What about Jeff, you know, seeing yourself translated into puppet form? What was that like for you?
They made that thing, it weighs 1 ton. It looks a little bit like me, supposedly, and amazing. And then it follows my voice as I utter a couple of things. I don't know whether, and then they do something to my voice in post-production. Amazing.
Did you not try and take it with you when you
the big head?
Unwrap,
What would I do with that big head?
in your
polish
yard?
it.
What movie's polish my big head? What movie is this from? Hey, these are my big heads. These are my big heads. Chris Guest in at the end of Waiting for Guffman. Yeah, here's Andrew McCarthy. I call him a big heads. Bobbleheads. Yeah, and it weighs 1 ton, which reminds me of this song. Finish this lyric. 16 tons. And what do you get? Another day older and a deeper in debt, etc., etc., etc. Okay, Tennessee Ernie Ford. There you go.
There we go.